Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the mock interview series with UiPath Aspirant. For the people who are looking this series for the first time, in this series I am taking mock interview for candidate based on their resume, their experience and their skill set. Please note that this is just a mock interview. It is not for any client, any customer or any of the job opportunities. The format of the mock interview is absolutely simple. The candidate send me the resume. I set up some time. I take the mock interview and all the confidential details such as the name, the company name, the project information, everything remains confidential with me. Even the name which you see in the mock interview is changed. So you do not have to worry about any of the details. Once I receive the interview, I hide the details, we take the interview. At the end, I guide the candidate that what are the topics he needs to improve upon, and I also provide the feedback on the interview so that they can perform well in their live interview. In terms of cost, the cost of the mock interview is absolutely free for you. You don't have to pay me anything. You just have to send me your resume and we can set up a common time and I conduct a mock interview for you. In case your experience match this mock interview, you can go ahead and watch. But in case you are coming from a different experience, you can go back to the playlist. There we have a couple of mock interviews which are already taken. You can watch them, get some insight, and hopefully that should be helpful in your next interview. If you want to appear for such a mock interview, all you have to do is just drop me an email on the email ID which is available in the description. Having said that, let's get started with today's mock interview. So hi Sandhya. So I hope still you are able to hear me. Today we are going to
Yes.
conduct the mock for you. The format of the mock would be absolutely simple. I have a resume. I am going to ask question based on your resume. At the end of the interview, I would be telling you all the answer to the questions which you have answered incorrectly and overall feedback and what are the topics you need to focus upon. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So we can get started by having a quick introduction about yourself.
Okay, sure, Mukesh. Yeah,
Mm.
myself Sandhya. I have completed BTech IT in 2018. So total, I have 5 years of experience.
Mhm.
UiPath, 4+ years of experience. And regarding the automation tools, I have worked on UiPath and Automation Anywhere.
Mhm.
And also one of the project management tool that is Smartsheet. I have worked so far. And coming to the projects, I have worked nearly 5+ projects. Few of the projects I worked from end to end, from the BRD till the UAT and live production. And apart from this, I have a interest in, like, if any issues apart from development, if we are facing any issue, at that time, like,
Mm.
I wanted to solve it. That's the eagerness I have.
Mhm.
Whether I can able to find the answer quickly or will it take time, that's not the matter. But I just want to clear that issue.
Okay.
So 2 times I have solved the issue for my seniors as well. So this is about me.
Understood. So, in this span of, I think you have told me 4, 5 years, right? You have done
Yeah.
close to 5 projects end to end, right? Are you certified by UiPath? UiPath certified? Any certification you have done?
Certification in the sense, like, in the UiPath Academy itself, we have diploma, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I completed. Apart from that, we have UIRD and other
Yeah,
certifications
yeah.
that I have not completed.
Okay, no problem. Fine. So, out of this 5 projects which you have done, Sandhya, end to end, right? I want you to talk about any
Yeah,
one of the project, right, which you have completely done, right? Talk me through the problem
yeah, sure.
statement, and then I'll ask you the next set of questions, right?
Yeah, okay, sure, Mukesh. So, let me tell you about the recent project that I have worked on. That is actually yet to move into production, but I just want to explain that to you.
Hmm.
So, this is a project. It's the overview of this project is uploading the goal plan files to the success factor. This is the this is what the process. So
Mhm.
here, what we can do. Um, the client, they will provide the input files to us, which is in the Excel format. and the template as well, a goal plan file for the employees. So it will contain all the goals, and there are some templates which is in the CSV format. So we need to create the GUID, sub-GUID in that template. Actually, the template is for the monthly basis. Till January to December, they have a certain templates, and also one set of templates is for the sub-process. So what we can do is, we have the list of sub-process. First of all, we need to find out whether sub-process is present in the goal plan repository, though they are maintaining that repository in a SharePoint. So I have to check whether the plan file is present in the sub process. If it is present, I need to pick that goal plan file, and then which month we are going to process. Actually, here the one is for the next month process. I mean, for the next month only, we are going to run the bot before, I mean, this month, that is 31st of 30th of September, we are running the files for the next month, October. So I need to pick that month. I need to pick that October month now, and then creating GUID and sub-GUID, all those things, and then log into SuccessFactors and uploading that goal plan files. So this is about the process.
Okay, so applications which involves, I can see Excel, the SharePoint, and one application where you upload, right, the data.
Yeah, correct. SuccessFactors.
SuccessFactors, right? So this SuccessFactors, right? It's a web application or a desktop application?
It's a web application.
It's a web application. Okay. Now, I believe that this would be built in dispatcher performer model.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so can you tell me what is the transaction item here?
Transaction item here is the sub process.
Okay, sub process, right? So what data are you adding? Name. Are you using UiPath queues here?
Yes.
Okay, what data are you adding to the queue?
Sorry?
What data are we adding to the queue?
What data are we?
What data are we adding to the queue?
That is what the sub process name.
Sub process name. Okay, so if I have one queue, so I would add the sub process name. Okay, and how many sub process name the robot will add in one transaction? So let's say I start the robot dispatcher, right? How many sub process name it will add to the queue?
Okay, if I am using add to queue item, it will add one sub process item for the, I mean, one like one done. What I'm saying is, like, I can use for each, and if I use add to item, it will add only one at a time. But if I use,
so tell me one thing. Okay, let me ask you in a different way. What time your dispatcher is scheduled?
Okay, that's the thing I want. This is not an unattended bot. This is an attended bot. So the client itself has to run the bot.
Oh, so the client will trigger the robot, and then the items will be added to the queue, right?
Yeah, correct.
Then how will the performer get triggered?
Yeah, that's what we inform to the client, that once you ran the dispatcher, we at the last we put a message box. Once it's successfully added to the queue, we had a message box there. So the client has to click on that message box. It means the queue items are added to the queue.
Okay.
And also we can once it is completed, we can trigger the process performer.
So the client only will trigger the performer, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and let's say when he has run the dispatcher, before he clicks on that OK button, how many items would be added to the queue?
In my sub process, around it's not so
approximately,
the default one, approximately, so it will be around 750 to 800.
Okay, I'll take it as 500 items, right? Let's say an average.
Yeah,
I'll take 500 items, right? And to process one item, how much time does it take?
To process.
Yeah. So I have added 500 items, right? So to process one, how much time it will take?
Okay. Yeah, that's depending on the for the one sub process, we have around sometimes 5 employees or 10 employees, like that. One sub process, there are n number of employees. So if a number of employees is lesser, five employees, for example, for ABC sub process, it is 5 employees, it will complete it in 1 minute. And if it
Okay.
is a more, if it is something is some number means it is depending on that employees. Actually, we are not accurately define the times, because this is what I understood when I ran the bot. For 5 employees, it took 1 minute, and for 100 employees, it took only 6 minutes.
Okay, so I'll take just a random figure, right? So 500 items are added to the queue. One item is taking 100 minutes. So you have total 500 minutes your process is running. So 500 minutes,
Okay.
right, is approximately 8 hours,
Yeah, correct.
right? So your process starts and then it is running for 8 hours. Okay.
Yeah,
Now it is an attended process, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the business user is just sitting in front of the machine and looking at this process for 8 hours.
No. It should not be like that actually.
Mm-hmm.
We have tested several times, and even I minimized the screen and I checked. So it's running fine. So they can run anyway. That is this process is going to be only once in a month.
Mm-hmm. But still,
Okay.
right, if it is a
So
once in a month, he can minimize it, right?
hmm,
Then why it is made as attended process, right? Why it is not an unattended process? That's my question.
actually, in my organization, it was said to keep it and attended,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
unattended for this process they told me to give attended mode, because
Mm-hmm.
of some, I don't want to mention, because of some license issue.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, okay, so let's say I come back to you and I say that, hey Sandhya, now we want to make this process as unattended. Okay.
Okay,
If I give you
okay.
everything, I give you resources, I give you 2 developers to work with you, I gave you license, queues, everything, right? How would you design this
Yeah.
process?
The same process, but before
Hmm.
moving into production, I will test it in like I mean, sorry, unattended license, how it is going, if
Mhm.
it is working fine or not. Then I am providing the unattended license. In that mode, I can give, schedule the bot
Okay, so even if
instead
it
of
is
providing
an,
attended license.
yeah, okay, so but if it is an attended one, okay, whatever you have done, right? What is the point
Hmm.
of adding the items to the queue? So first, as per your requirement, the business is triggering a button, is adding the items to
Okay.
the queue, right?
Okay.
500
Okay.
items added to the queue. He got a message back,
Yeah.
he say okay, right? Then
Yeah.
he again go and he click on one more button to start the performer,
Yeah.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Why can't I merge both of this in a single robot, right? Because there is nothing happening. So a single process where he clicks the button, the items are added to the queue and process at the same time. Why the
No,
business user?
no.
Yeah, you got my question?
Okay. No, yeah. I got your question. So why we can't measure it in a single bot instead of going with a
Yes.
dispatcher and performer, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes,
Mm,
okay, um,
mhm,
it will be efficient. Like we can get to know, okay, dispatcher is completed. It means queue data are added to the queue. And if we merge it in one thing, actually it's a RE framework, right? If I merge it in one thing,
mhm.
again there will be a duplicate items added to the queue, right? There might be the case.
No.
If any exception happened, it will again redirect.
Mhm. Okay,
Mm.
fine. So, talking about this web process, right? Uh,
Yeah.
how do you get the credential of this web process? So you need to log
By
into this
storing
web
the
process, right? Success web.
by s- yeah,
Hmm.
by storing it in asset.
What kind of asset is it?
It, it's a credential.
Okay, and what activity I'm using to get the
Get
credential?
credential activity.
Okay,
Get
fine.
credential.
So let's say the password for your application is admin. Okay, the
Okay.
username is
Okay.
admin and the password is also admin, right?
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
every corporate has a policy that after 90 days, 120 days, the password will
Yeah.
change,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
How would this application or who would change the password, right? How would the robot know that now I have to update, get the new password?
No, that actually the person who is handling the bot, he should aware of that. So he needs to change it in the login to the orchestrator, and he has to change it.
So he has access to the orchestrator.
Yes.
He's a business user, right?
Okay.
Okay, but if he has access to orchestrator, right, he can run the robot from orchestrator, right, directly.
Yeah, correct, Mandeep. Actually,
Right.
that's what we are. We are not providing the credential to them. If we are the credential change part and all, our team only taking care of it. So if we are changing the password, we itself change the password in the orchestrator.
You will change it, okay? But who will
Yeah,
give you the
yeah,
password?
yeah. No, we are only. That's what we are doing.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you are a developer, right? Is it okay for you to have the password? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, but I am a developer, right? So let's say I do some manipulation, I change the system data, right? I have the password,
Yeah.
right? I can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Don't you think it has a risk? So,
Might be the case.
Mukesh is an RP
Uh,
developer, right? And you have given me the
yeah,
password of the actual business application, right?
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
I have the password. I can go to the machine. I log into
yeah.
this application CSV file and I'll upload some junk data. I'll delete some
Mm,
data, right?
yeah, yes, correct.
Nobody
Yeah,
will be able to catch me, right?
yeah, correct.
And then, and if you have the password, then there is no point in having it a secure vault credential and all, right? Anyways, the password is
Yeah,
with the developer, right?
yes.
Now you tell me, does it make sense?
That's correct only, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of this scenario because we usually change the password and we updated in orchestrator.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And
fine.
so I didn't
So
think.
I have one more question for you. Okay.
Okay,
So your process is completed successfully. Okay.
okay,
Now,
okay,
one fine day, what happens that your dispatcher runs. Okay. The
okay,
business
okay,
triggers the dispatcher and it add 500 item to the queue.
okay,
Now your business person comes and he triggers the performer. Okay.
okay,
And this success web application is not working. Okay. It has got
okay,
some exception. The application is
okay,
down, browser is not responding, right?
okay.
What would happen to those 500 items which are added to the queue?
It was a new state only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, it would be in the
because it
new
is
state.
not process. Yeah, because
Okay.
it is not process. I mean, first, sorry, it
Mm-hmm.
will, I mean, while doing the performer, first it will take the first record
Okay.
and, okay, it will throw the exception and
Mm-hmm.
system exception will come. Okay, it will process that record.
Mm-hmm.
If success factor we are facing system exception means that record goes to fail.
It's not in new
Again,
state, right? Then.
yeah, it is not a new state, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And again, it picks the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am aware of not how to handle this, but what I tell is,
Mm-hmm.
if system exception happened, I kept the send mail activity. Like if any exception happens, send a mail.
No, but
So
okay, tell me one thing, right? If there is an exception happening with this system exception or this application, right? Should the
yeah,
robot retry or should it not retry?
it will retry
How many times?
that. What I mean, that what we kept at an orchestrator.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, the default retry is one time.
Yeah. Okay. And then after what would happen? The item would be marked as failed,
Failed. Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct.
Right. So let's say Sandhya has added 500 items to the queue.
Yeah,
Okay. First item
okay.
failed, second item failed, third item failed, right? So
Yeah,
as a developer, Sandhya knows that yes, the application is down. There is no point in running all the 500 items, right?
yes,
All
yeah,
the 500 items are going to fail.
okay,
So I'm your business and I tell you that, Sandhya, I want you to stop the process after 10 exception. Okay.
Okay.
As soon
Okay.
as you get
Okay.
10 exception, I do not want to process, right? There is no point in processing those 800
Yeah.
items because
Yeah.
anyways it's going to fail, right?
Yeah.
Where
Correct.
can I stop the process after 10 failures?
Where?
Understood the question first of all?
Yeah, I understood. But if we get
Mm-hmm.
an exception means we can stop it from UiPath assistant,
Okay,
or
but
we
the
can,
item will process
or
so fast, right? It will be fail, right?
uh,
So
or
I
we
want
can
it
keep
at,
the
yeah. Hmm.
or we can keep the condition like we can
Mm-hmm.
I mean we can count it if this system exception
Hmm.
count if it happen count is greater than or equal to 10, stop the process. We have action stop the job, or
Yeah.
something we
Stop the
have
job,
activity for
stop
the
the
job.
process. What should I stop?
Yeah, the performer.
Performer. How?
Mm, by giving the
Mm-hmm.
performer file name, something like that. The
Performer
XAML
file
file.
name. Are you sure?
Uh, I don't know actually. I didn't try it, so I don't know.
Okay, fine. So I have one scenario based question for you now. Okay. I have an Excel.
Okay.
Okay. That Excel has
Okay.
100 items. Okay. I want to split it into 50
Okay.
50. 50 in
Okay.
sheet 1, 50 in sheet 2.
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
the condition is
Okay. Okay.
someday I have 100, someday I can have 1000. Right. So if I have 1000, then it should be 500 each. Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
If it is let's say 200, then it would be 100. Right.
Yeah.
How can I
Yeah.
do this? Understood the
By
question?
counting data table dot count, and then we can divide it.
Okay, so data table dot count, I have got 100.
Yeah.
Then what should I do with that 100?
Yeah. If we want to,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to add it in the queue, or how?
No. So I have 100 records in an Excel. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so I have to create two sheets, sheet 1 and sheet 2, right? So
Okay.
sheet 1 will have
Okay.
50 records. Sheet 2 will have
Okay.
50 records, right?
Okay. Okay.
Sometime my Excel can have 1000 records. Sometime it can have
Ah.
2000
Okay. Okay.
records, right? So my
Okay.
requirement is simple. I just want to divide it 50-50, right?
Okay.
So now how do I do
Okay.
it?
Yeah, that's what. First, we should read the Excel, and we come to know the count, data table dot rows dot count,
Okay, so I got a
and if
1000 count, right?
yeah,
Now what after
count
that?
1000.
Yeah,
Then we can divide it.
how? That's the
Uh,
question.
I mean, we divided means we.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the condition like 1000
Yeah,
means 1000 divided by 2. We can come to know that number.
500.
500.
Okay.
So again, we can give the condition like read the Excel from 1 to 500 rows in one sheet, and
Mm-hmm.
again 501 to 1000 in another sheet.
Okay, and then I will, after that, I just need to write the data, right? So which activity I can use to write the data back?
Right range. Right range.
Right range. Okay. Okay, great. So that was on your project. Okay, let me just quickly go back to your resume. Okay, so in your resume, I can see that you have mentioned that you are working with the business team to prepare PDD and SDD, right? Can you tell me the difference
Yeah.
between PDD and SDD?
Okay. So PDD is the it's a document from the business team, like how they are doing it and manually. It is as is process.
Mm-hmm.
So they will mention it like okay, we are keeping it like it's not more detail. It
Mm-hmm.
in short, I can say that is the as is process, which
Mm-hmm.
contains all the requirements.
Understood. So that is the PDD,
PhD,
right? Okay.
yes, yeah. And SDD is the solution design document that we are preparing, that the developer has to prepare it from the like a flow chart, how it will go, what are the known exception and unknown exception, what are the assets we have used. And we can mention in that also we can mention as is process, to be process, and
Okay, tell me one thing.
folder stack.
To be process is a part of PDD or is it a part of SDD?
To be process SDD.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have a counter question to you now. Okay, so I have given a process to you. Okay, the business is taking let's say 10 steps to do the task, right? There is some task the business is doing
Okay.
10 step, right? And
Okay.
you need to simplify the process, right? Before you automate, right?
Sorry. 1 second. To be
Yeah,
process also mentioned in BRD.
sure. Now then I'll again ask one more question.
Sure. Because yeah, now only I remember, because one of my BRD, that is the last BRD they mentioned to be process as well in BRD only.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so then okay, so that was about PDD SDD. Okay, now I have one last question to you. Okay,
Okay.
you have a project which is deployed on Orchestrator. Okay,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
got some exception.
Okay.
The exception says null reference exception.
Okay.
What are the steps you are going to take as an developer, or what are you doing, right? So you were, as you told that you are interested in doing this support and all, right? So one day
Yeah.
you came to office and you saw that there is a job where you have got an exception, null reference exception, right?
Okay.
What would you do?
If it is, first of all, I can point if any variable is throwing this exception, null or reference exception
Okay,
means
so
I
you
can
are
check out
so where did you find this error, right? So you are in the orchestrator now.
From the logs.
From the logs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the log is only
At,
telling you null reference exception, right?
log also we can check. Otherwise, in that log, or we can, if possible, we can find it on the transaction item as well, because in the transaction item, if we click on that, it will throw. I mean, from there also we can check it, right? Exception, it will be mentioned there as well.
Okay, so fine, you got an exception, right? Then what is the next? You got that, okay, this click activity is breaking, right? Then what would you do?
Click activity.
Okay, so let's say the null exception is because of some variable ABC. Okay,
Yes. Okay.
what would you do after that?
Okay. If it is a variable throwing that exception, I will change that to that condition we have, right? If string null or empty, that condition, I will keep that, and I again check it if it is working or not.
But where would you put that
String dot
condition?
is null or empty. Okay. String dot is null or empty of that variable name. If it is null, I can give the some values, or directly I can give null, like that I can assign according to the I mean, I can check with the client if it is null, what I need to do, or otherwise I can keep store it null as well. If it is not null, I can directly call that variable value.
Okay, fine. So that's it. I am done with my set of questions. Okay. Before I come
Okay.
to your feedback, right, I want to ask you, right, what do you
Yeah,
think?
okay.
How was your interview?
Yeah, it's good only. I mean, your questions, or I can learn a lot, especially that question. Till now, I don't know the answer for that, like how to stop the job, and that password update, how to update that password.
Okay, so
So
let's
those are
say,
the questions.
had it been a real interview, right? Let's say I was not taking a mock interview. If it was a real interview, right? What do you think?
Okay.
Would you be selected or not?
Do you want me to
Oh,
tell the
yeah,
real
yeah,
answer this time?
yeah, yeah, I want the real answer.
I
Uh,
I have done almost 60 to 70%. I think I have done.
uh-huh.
Uh, Most probably, if they are experiencing much, means I won't get selected.
Okay, great. So let me tell you, right? So
Okay.
let's come to your feedback, right? So
Okay.
you are having experience of close to 5 years now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, anybody who is hiring you, they would hire you as a
Okay.
senior developer,
Yes. Correct.
correct? Now,
Yeah.
if I am taking an interview for senior developer and the senior developer is telling me that I am not sure why I am using attended process, I am not sure how do I update the credential, right? And then I am not sure, uh, I just got confused between as is and the to be process,
Okay. Okay.
right? If it is a junior developer, maybe yes, right? But if it
Okay.
is
Okay.
for a
Okay.
senior role, which is true
Okay.
in your case, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it is difficult,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Correct. I
Okay,
understood. Yeah.
so
I understood.
the feedback for you is the first feedback is you need to have a clarity on the process. Okay.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
project is the
Okay.
first thing anybody is going to ask you, right? It's
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
okay to do it in attended. It's okay to do it in unattended, right? But
Okay.
you should
Okay.
be aware of that
Okay.
why it is attended, why it is not unattended, right?
Okay. Okay.
If I have to stop the process, how can I do that? Right now, to answer
Okay.
your
Okay.
question, I have asked you that how do you stop the process, right? In RE framework
Yeah. Yeah.
config, you have something which is called max consecutive system exception.
Max consecutive system exception. Okay.
Heard of it?
Some
Okay,
no.
so I have a video on the channel, right? You can watch it, right?
Okay.
That will give you an idea
Okay.
on that, right? So there is a
Okay.
property in config which is called max consecutive system exception, right?
Okay.
Its
Okay.
job, so you just mention it as 5. So after 5 failures, it will automatically stop the robot. No need to do
Okay. Okay.
anything. Okay, it's already
Okay.
the part of the RE framework.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
PDD, SDD, definitely you have given me is the correct answer, but you got confused, right? So when I ask you a counter question, then you corrected, right? But maybe the interviewer
Yeah.
won't ask you a repeat question, right?
Yeah.
The
Correct. Correct.
Excel 1 to 500, absolutely correct. You have given me, right? But
Okay.
the
Okay.
major thing is your project, right? You need to work upon your
Okay.
project. You should know why
Okay.
it's attended, why it's
Okay.
unattended, right? How do you
Okay.
do it?
Okay.
How do you change it to unattended, right?
Okay. Okay.
You should be
Okay.
able to justify, right? And the
Okay.
second thing
Got.
I would like to propose you is that do plan for one certificate. I am not telling you that you should
Sure.
give it right away, but at least start planning for the advanced
Okay.
developer certificate. Two things will happen.
Okay.
The first one, you will get yourself prepared. The second thing is the
Okay.
syllabus is so extensive for UIRD, right? You
Okay.
automatically
Yeah.
will learn a lot of things in that
Okay.
course
Okay.
of that thing, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that would be my feedback. Your interview was good. Uh, I would say in terms of communication wise, letting me
Okay.
understand your process, everything is good, right? But when it's come to technical at the end, that's what matter, right? And now you
Sure.
should behave. Your resume should behave as a senior developer resume, right? Your profile should be as
Okay.
a
Yeah.
senior developer, right?
Okay.
Gone are the days where
Okay.
people are going to ask you what is selector, what is full selector, tell me the read range, right? That's not going to happen now. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to think now as a senior developer and prepare accordingly.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Great. So that would be my feedback. Now over to you if you have any questions which you want me to answer.
Yes. That update password. How can we do that, Mukesh?
Okay, so whenever in companies we work, right, there are two ways to do it. Okay, and
Okay.
the first thing is developer do not have access to anything. Okay, you're a
Okay.
developer,
Okay.
you would have access only and only till the development environment. Once it is
Okay.
moved to
Okay.
production, there is a support team dedicated who takes care of that. Okay,
Okay.
then in
Okay.
most of the company, there is a concept of CyberArk. Okay,
Okay.
so CyberArk
Yeah.
is called
Nice.
password vault. You might have heard of it,
Okay.
right? So all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
robot password credentials, everything are a part of CyberArk. In the
Okay.
CyberArk, you actually set this robot, and the property of CyberArk is every time you go and get a password, it is going to generate a new password, right? So that way it never expires.
Okay.
So the password which you get from CyberArk never expires.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the answer, right? So you can say that, hey,
Okay.
this is done by the different team. You may not have CyberArk, right? But telling that, yes, the developer has the access to it, it's not a great thing, right? Because
Oh,
that
that's okay. Okay.
that's kind of show that, right? Okay, that you're not ready for at least, okay, so let's say Sandhya is taking an interview, right? And then one candidate come and say that, Sandhya, I would give my password to the developer. What should be Sandhya's reaction?
Okay.
Right. Developer should not have the access, right? Because developer
Okay.
access should be
Okay.
restricted only till development. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the some things, Sandhya, which you should work upon, and otherwise you should be
Okay.
good, right?
Okay.
Just one
Okay.
feedback on your CV as well, right? I am going through your CV and I
Okay.
see that you have not mentioned any project, only one project you have mentioned. Okay, so is it
Okay.
the only one project which you are working from 2021? 2 years you are only working. I think it's a company, right? But it does not talk about the process. It does not talk about anything about RPA, right? So maybe you can just mention uh, whatever you have done in RP, right? So it just talk about those, right? It does not have any projects, right? So just mention at least 2 to 3 projects in your resume, okay? And add some of the skills such as UiPath, Orchestrator, Action Center, document understanding, Chat GPT, AI ML. You don't need to have a real-time experience, but you should have knowledge on these things as well, okay? Okay, done. So that is it. So how's your overall feedback then? We are done with the interview.
Yes, Mukesh, it was nice to talking to you. I can learn whatever I don't know. I learned that.
Mhm.
That's good.
Okay, so that is all for this video. I would like to wrap this video here. I hope this was insightful. If you have any more questions, any more doubts, feel free to write me in the comments, or you can also drop me an email as well. I would appreciate your feedback on the video, and tell me in the comments what would be the next topic or next video you want to see. So with that, I would wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel, and happy automation.